Hi, Year 7. I just thought I'd make a little YouTube clip. For whatever reason, we didn't have very many in our class this afternoon, and I just wanted to have a chat with you about your assessment task. So, yesterday we did an activity. What is a TEEL writing structure? And we have done this before when we looked at doing our case study at the end of last term. So, today, why I'm going through this is that in your assessment task, you're actually asked to write in a TEEL structure. So you've got a topic sentence that introduces your main idea to your paragraph. Elaborate, so explain, expand on your idea, tell me what you're thinking about, and give me some information. And then in the next one, you're going to give some evidence to support your argument, and usually that would be in the form of some sort of example. And the last part is to link it back. So, things like therefore, this is why, yada, yada, yada. Remember, like as they said on the video here, so you could go back and look at the video again to give you a bit more information, that sometimes that these two in the middle could be repeated because you might have another idea that you want to put forward. And when we will move into the next section, you'll understand what I'm talking about. All right, so these are your case study topics. Some of them are going to be a lot more easier to find information about. These first two are really new and expanding technology. So there's going to be a lot more information about it. And also in some of the questions when they ask, can you pay for extra features? You're looking at different models, give you extra features. So that would also give you, more things that you could talk about. The next part, next slide. You just need to put the topic that you're going to do and your name here. And then this slide is what's it all about. All right, so I've got a text box in there, nice big text box. If I click in here to type, I want to have my text sitting at about a size 12. All right, so that you're going to be able to have like two really good paragraphs in here. Now down at the bottom of the page, it says name your topic and explain what the device or activity is about. How much does it cost? Can you pay for additional features? One TEEL paragraph. All right, so this is the part where you might have that elaboration and explanation covered a couple of times. So this elaboration and evidence, because you've been asked for a few things. So you're going to name and explain what your device is about. How much does it cost? It might be a range of prices between this to that. And then you can explain about what additional features that you could get if you get the better unit. All right, then the second part is who invented it and what was their background. So paragraph number 2. So things that you could talk about. You could talk about where they were born, how old they are, what their interests are, what kind of study they did to get where they are, jobs that they've held before or positions in companies that they've had. So that's the general information that you'll be looking at in that kind of paragraph. Okay, next slide down. Same thing applies. Just because it's in a table format, these tables are formatted at size 12. So you can get a few good sentences, like a little paragraph in each of these. All right, so you would have a sentence in here and then just bold whatever the word is for the data collection. So if your data collection is that it collects your heart rate, that's what you would bold those words heart rate in your sentence, and then you're going to talk about how it would improve health. Now I've given you an example down there. Identify the data collected and explain how it's used. For example, heartbeats per minute. Then explain how that would improve your health. So in this, I would say the Fitbit collects my heartbeats per minute, and then this part you could go on and talk about health. Now, why would that be good? Now, if I was an elite athlete and I was doing interval training, I might want to increase my heart rate to try and improve my fitness and blood flow and overall well-being. Okay, so I've set myself a goal that I want to get my heart rate up past a certain point in my 30 or 60 seconds of interval training. So I could look at my heartbeat and go, right, now off I go, and I go as fast as I can doing jumping jacks, and the buzzer goes off, and I can look to see what my heart rate is, and I could say to myself, well, I think I can do better than that. So I've got a goal. Now, by doing that, I am improving my overall health because I'm increasing the blood flow through my body and the oxygen as well. All right, so, but if on the other side of it, if my heart wasn't very good, it could help me as a warning sign. Now, I know that some Apple Watches are set that if you fell over, that an alarm would go off. All right, so if you can collect the data for your heart rate, if your heart rate went below, say, 55 or 50 beats a minute and was heading down, you know that was something wrong with you, that you would need to sit down and call someone for help. All right, so how can it be used to improve your health? Well, it's stopping you having some major episode because you've stopped it before it starts. So that's the kind of information. Make sure that the data that you identify in the data collection column is something that actually helps with health. So don't put random things like it. I'm just trying to think some of the random things you could put in there. Whatever you put in there, just make sure that it has to have something to do with managing your health, and not something like a calendar appointment chiming to let you know that you're supposed to be somewhere, because that's not going to do anything for you. All right, next bit. Impact on society. What impact does your topic have on society? So you've got to suggest 3 ways and explain whether this is positive or negative and why. Provide an example to support your response. So I'm going to give you an example. We are an aging population. Okay, so there's a lot of older people that work, and that's why they keep changing the time when you can retire, because there's not enough young people to be able to do all the jobs that we need to have done in our society. Now, our society pays, our taxes pay for things like healthcare. So the New South Wales government, they have money that they have put out into hospitals, and if you get sick, you can go to a public hospital and you'll be treated, and you've got a Medicare card that you can use when you go to the doctors, and when you have to go and get medicines like antibiotics, some of them are subsidised. Well, they all cost money. So everything's about money. So what we're trying to do is, if it's an aging population, you're trying to reduce people having to have these major health issues because they're all going to cost money. So down here it talks about blood pressure, so that it could track your blood pressure. How's that going to be helpful? So if you had really high blood pressure, you could have a stroke. Now, if you had a stroke, you could have to be on medication for the rest of your life, which is going to cost money. You might be really, really unwell and need to have help at your house, which is going to cost more money. So what impact does your topic have on society? So if my Fitbit tracked my heart rate, and my heart rate was my blood pressure, and it was too high, that it would prompt me to go to the doctor. Is that positive? Yes, that would be a positive. Make sure these are all in full sentences. It's talking about, it's not just like yes, positive. Put it in a sentence, and why. So it'd be positive because I've identified that I've got a problem with my blood pressure, and then maybe if I just do some exercise and change my diet a little bit, that I won't have to have medication. And it's something that I can then monitor, which means that I'm not going to put that additional health load onto the healthcare system later in my life. Just having a drink. And lastly, it's talking about impact on society. Explain how using this technology, so if it was me, my Fitbit, may improve your health now and into the future. 2 TEEL paragraphs. Okay, so now, if I was your age and I got my Fitbit and I was like, or in your 20s, and you're looking at improving your health, you might be using it as a step counter and have set a goal that every day you're going to do like 10,000 steps, then 11,000, 12, and build it up until you're doing like 14,000 steps or something a day. How would that improve your health now? But so you're going to talk about a paragraph about how using your Fitbit and monitoring your health, how's it going to help you now and then in the future. So if you were doing that now and you kept doing that for your life, and by the time you got into your 40s or 50s, the technology may have changed. But if you're still got this habit of going out and monitoring how much you're walking and moving during the day, how much is that going to benefit your health in the future? All right, so you need to make sure that you have a TEEL paragraph for each of these. Make sure you answer both questions. Now, say for example, this is out of 10 and you only answer 1, we've lost 5 marks. I'm not saying it is out of 10. I think the whole thing's out of 20. So this page itself wouldn't be out of 10, but I think it's marked out of 40 and then your marks reduced to out of 20. So if you look at it, if you don't answer half of it, you've thrown half of your marks away. So make sure that in each spot that you have something and it's look at it and go, if I read that, where am I sitting? Is that an extensive? Is it a high? Is it sound? Is it basic? Is it limited? All right. So because you're not going to get a mark for just writing something really, really simple and think that you're going to get 5 for it, because it doesn't work that way. The last bit, where did you get your information from? So as you're going through your task, make sure that you're putting your bibliography stuff in here, so that when you get to the end, you've just got to put the last finishing touches on it. Now that's your task. You need to make sure that you are working through this. I can see your task, and if I go in there and find that today's lesson for this section hasn't been done, then I'll be calling home, because this is your lesson and this is what you're due to do today. All right then, stay tuned. If you've got any questions, please make sure that you contact me. All right then, take care. Bye.